Yeah, today has been a crazy day. I just got back from the Venezuela Jamaica game where Venezuela won 3-0. So I was there supporting uh, my country. So it was crazy. 20,000 Venezuelans there, maybe 50 Jamaicans. Um, so yeah, I have some time now to just talk a little bit about the Euros today. And man, was it a fun one. Whew. So, um, yeah, let's just start in chronological order here. We'll just make some little changes, obviously. So, yeah, we had Switzerland win yesterday, and then today, oof, okay. Well, we had England, Slovakia. Um, you know, I I'm not really sure what the right words are to describe this game. It was interesting because England was just playing a lot better than they have in this tournament, and still it wasn't impressive. So just England things all over again. And Slovakia had a very nice goal in the first half. I mean, yeah, just the awareness from the Slovakian player to, he just felt the overlapping run, and he just saw that gap right there and played a perfect ball so the other player could just make a nice and cool finish to the bottom bar post corner. Um, and it really looked like Slovakia were just gonna seal that game up until you know we all seen the replay at this point, but England looked a lot better today. They were creating a lot more opportunities for themselves, and these players were trying to make the efforts that they could to, while not making a mistake, to just give themselves the best opportunity to score. So yeah, Kane Kane should have probably had an earlier goal before he scored his winner. Um, he just missed a header, just going wide, but it was just right there for him. And then I think Slovakia could have had an equalizer also in extra time, where a very nice cross was played in, and it went, right through Mark Guede, and it hit the Slovakian player in the leg, but it was just always, just the angle of how the leg was positioned. He didn't make great contact with it. It just went straight, to the sky, to the heavens of the stadium. Um, yeah, so it wasn't the most entertaining of games, but the fact that it was England being a goal down, I mean, even if you're not an England fan, I'm sure you felt the tension for England. So that in itself is just very hard to describe. And yeah, I mean, it's just so hard to wrap your mind around what happened, and just Jude Bellingham's goal all on its own. An over the head kick in the 94th minute to just send it to extra time. Just baffling. And yeah, I wish we could go through every single substitution and, kind of like break that down. But this game on its own to start the day just, it took a lot. And yes, and then England got the victory just, I think just 30 seconds into extra time. Harry Kane scores his header. So yeah, it was good to see Southgate make the substitutions that he needed to make to try to win this game. And the funny part, one of my friends pointed this out in our group chat, was that you know once Phil Foden came out of the pitch, uh, they pretty much just scored these two opportunities. Yeah, they brought in Antonio, an extra forward, so maybe it was hard to pay attention to what formation they were trying to play, but it looked like a 2-5-3 by the end of it. Um, they brought in Cole Palmer, and they started Kobe Mainu, and that just helped take the load off Declan Rice, like I mentioned earlier, who had to do a lot for England. He still had to do a lot today, and he didn't have the best of games, but overall he didn't blow it too. So um, it was good to see some of these slight changes to England, and yeah, for whatever reason, once Phil Foden came out of the pitch, they were able to just put 2 goals pretty quickly. So yeah, just an interesting performance from England. Um, yeah, this side is still just it's this is just what the English team that we have. There's a whole lot of talent, but they're gonna find a way to make it difficult for themselves to win matches, and still defensively they're good. They've only conceded 2 goals in the entire tournament, so there's that takeaway, right? But the fact that just so many weapons on the offensive, we just expect a lot more. Just goals and opportunities and creativity, and we're just not really seeing it. But much better performance from England today, and hats off to Slovakia. I thought they just played the best game that they could. They really should have had it. They got robbed. They got unlucky. Um, England's luck finally struck. And yeah, aside from that, they played an excellent game, and they were very good on the ball when they had it. So just very unlucky for Slovakia, and England yet lives again. So yeah, just really crazy, and it almost leaves you just a little speechless. So that was a just crazy way to start the day. Um, I went over to meet up with some friends later, but just after the game, just before the Spain game, Spain and Georgia, I was just almost shaking. I was like, I really have to drive uh, now after this game. I can't just take a minute to sit back and let it soak it in. I needed like an hour to just kind of chill off from this game. So yeah, that's enough of England and Slovakia, and let's talk a little bit about Georgia and Spain. So Georgia, scoring an early goal off an own goal. Again, own goal is just king in this tournament for whatever reason. And yeah, they looked threatening off the counterattack. And Spain were a little startled there to start the first half. But second half, just a completely different story. I think they equalized it before halftime. So I think we had a 1-1 going there. Off, Rodri's excellent goal, just perfectly placed in the bottom corner. Great on Williams there, Nico Williams. I think I said Nico Jackson in the past, so apologies for that. But yeah, Nico Williams just he played a couple split passes like that across the top of the box, and finally this one Rodri decided it was his time, just banged it in. Awesome goal. And then we got to see just utter Spanish dominance in the second half. And, another excellent goal from Nico Williams. But then, before that, you had the Lamine Yamal cross to Fabian Ruiz. And, yeah, it was just an amazing ball. I was listening to the Give and Go podcast after this game, and they compared it to just one of those balls that Messi plays, and we just keep on playing. Just the second he cuts in, he just chipping that away. So an amazing wit and ball by Lamine Yamal. So Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams just stole the show today. They were unplayable, and they made the differences throughout the match uh, to help their team just be more effective. Uh, we had a sweet goal by Danny Olmo, who probably could have had another one, but he passed it to the wrong side of the net, and for his goal he passed it to the correct side where it actually hit the back of the net. So just very cheeky, clean finish there by Danny Olmo for the fourth goal. And the third goal, we had Nico Williams just smash it into the roof of the net. You just love to see goals like that. So, yeah, just utter Spanish dominance. Well played on Georgia. They did what they could. It was just always going to be tough to fend off the Spanish side with a lot of quality in their team, and who are really just looked like all the throttles are, just on at this time. So yeah, this sets up an awesome Spain Germany quarterfinal. It sucks that we have to see this matchup so soon, and it sucks that we have to see one of these teams go because they really are probably the top three, part of the top three teams in this tournament. So I'll still go Germany here because of the home effect. But yeah, it's just it's stacking up. It's stacking up. And then we see England and Switzerland on the other side. So this should be a good one. Switzerland should really test England in this game. So it obviously it's an England game, so it's going to be a grindy one. There's not going to be easy chances for either team, and there's a good chance Switzerland could really set the tempo for this game if they want to. Uh, so yeah, and England's they're always just gonna try to keep the ball. Also, like they're a team who try to just make it a point to keep the ball. So and that means just playing very slowly from the back until they find their openings to go forward. That's just what we've been seeing this whole time. So let's see how Switzerland manage that. But yeah, this should be a fun one. I look forward to seeing how Switzerland can test them and, just potentially knock out this England team. And yes, Spain and Germany, just, we can't say enough of it. It's just going to be the most enticing matchup thus far in this tournament. And then tomorrow we'll have Portugal, Slovenia, and then we'll have France and Belgium. So France and Belgium, this is going to be a great one, or at least headliner wise. And then we do expect Portugal to take care of the business against Slovenia, but obviously it seems like Portugal hasn't hit their full stride, especially losing to Georgia in their last game. But we expect them to dominate the ball here and just produce some good opportunities while Slovenia kind of hangs back and tries to pick them off on the counter. So yeah, this could be another one like we saw today against England, just because Portugal haven't looked the most convincing, but we know the quality's there. And yeah, let's see what this France-Belgium matchup holds or has in store for us. So this could be pretty high scoring. Hopefully it is that way, but yeah, you would just still think France have to pull out this result, even though Belgium will be able to test them a bit, but France are very good defensively, so that should keep them afloat against just a a Belgian team that hasn't really shown they could put goals in unless Lukaku's offsides. So yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for today. We'll discuss the games tomorrow, and yeah, I appreciate your time. Thanks and cheers.